Myself Gokuland. Hope everyone is fine. Today we will discuss about one inspirational content related to Apollo mission. Recently, I have watched a Netflix documentary which is named as Apollo 13 Survival. Uh, Hope everyone knows about Apollo mission, which is basically United States space program to land a manned spacecraft in the moon surface, do some experiments, and bring them safely back to the Earth. So previously, Apollo 11 and 12 were very successful, and Apollo 11 was very famous because it's where Neil Armstrong created history by becoming the very first man to land on the moon. So Apollo 13 was infamous to some extent because it didn't meet its objective of landing the man on the moon surface and bring him back safely to the earth because of some technical flaws in the mid space. So what happened in Apollo 13? So Apollo 13 was commanded by Jim Lovell in addition to two other crew members, and it was launched successfully, and it was traveling in the space around 200,000 miles from the earth's surface, and it was about to reach the moon surface in another 50,000 miles. So they observed some strange behavior in the mid space. Some oxygen gas was venting outside of their engine, and there were some fuel rod issue also with respect to their engine. So this is very strange, and they have communicated this to the ground staff control engineers, and the only possibility is to abort the mission. So aborting the mission means they just can't abruptly abort it and take a U-turn and come back to the earth. So because they have fuel deficiency as well as essential supplies deficiency, because you have limited oxygen and water and other food supplies, so they have to think about that as well. So they have devised a workaround on how at least the crew members will safely reach the earth. So what they come up is something interesting. It's basically the matter of life and death. They have at least, I think they have only 10% chance of survival at that moment. So basically in any spacecraft, right, there will be a command module followed by a lunar module. Spacecraft to the moon generally will have command module followed by lunar module. Lunar module, the main functionality of the lunar module is once the spacecraft reaches the moon surface, the functionality of the lunar module is to ensure the soft landing of the crew members on the moon surface. And the lunar module will have some amount of oxygen and fuel supplies with it. What they have devised is like they basically repurposed the lunar module to make it as a lifeboat. So all three crew members move to the lunar module, and the plan is to orbit around the moon and provide some thrust on the lunar engine and come out of the moon's gravitation and basically travel towards the earth gravitational pull. So they were able to achieve this, although the lunar module is not designed for it. They were able to work closely with the ground engineers, and they were able to achieve this thing, and they were traveling towards the earth atmosphere. And while traveling, they observed a second issue where the trajectory they were traveling, it is slightly drifted away. So if they travel in the same path, they will not reach the Earth's atmosphere, but they will skip the Earth and they may forever go into the outer space. So they have to correct the trajectory. So they work closely with the ground staff engineers and provided another thrust on the lunar engine so that they can able to correct the trajectory so that the spacecraft will land on the Earth's atmosphere. So this is the second issue they have solved. And the third important thing, so any mission, whether it's a space mission or a lunar mission, the important stage is re-entering into the Earth's atmosphere. So re-entering into the Earth's atmosphere, it's a very difficult stage because atmosphere has a lot of air molecules, and if you are re-entering into the rocket, it will create a lot of friction, and your spacecraft outer shield has to withstand that amount of heat, which is thousands of degrees Celsius. And also you will lose the communication with the ground staff because at that heat, right, it will ionize all the particles, air molecules around the spacecraft, and it will create a plasma sheath. So the radio waves from the ground staff will not communicate, will not penetrate the plasma sheath. So you will lose a communication to the ground staff for a moment till you cross the atmosphere. So that this third critical stage also they were able to manage and safely land on the Pacific Ocean, and the rescue members were able to rescue them from the Pacific Ocean and make them safely land on the Earth. So these three things they were able to carry out in a very a delicate manner, because 1% error in any of these three steps, right, it would have caused this mission a complete failure, and we could not able to recover them, or we could not able to bring them back to the Earth. So from this Apollo 13 mission, right, at least I could think about three life lessons that we can learn. The first one is it's not lost or it's not over until it's over. So sometimes we give up very early, like we try something, if it's not working, we will give up. Okay, that's all, it's the end of it, something like that. So there is always a solution to every problem, so we need to think about it. So the thing is, we don't have sufficient knowledge to solve a problem. With our current knowledge, we may not solve the problem, but if you think in a different way, or if you gain the respective knowledge, you will always come up with some solution. So this is the first thing. And the second thing is, we should not limited by the resources that we are having. So generally we will think, I will do this thing if I have money or if I have time, something like that. But if you are put into some life and death kind of situation like this, you will always come to some solution, right, with whatever available resources that you are having. So so general way of looking into this is, you are not limited by whatever resources you are having. So whatever resources that you are having is more than enough to start whatever that you are intended to do. So this is the second lesson. And the third is, failure is not ultimate. Okay, so if you see this mission, so the failure or success, how do we measure it? So if you measure this mission by its objective is reach the moon surface and bring the crew members back to the Earth, definitely this mission is not successful if you measure it with respect to its objective. But if you measure it with how this how the crew members has worked closely with the ground staff control engineers, and how they were able to come up with a plan to solve this problem with available resources they are having, it's definitely a very good success. And it's also a lesson for future space program. to there is always a way uh, to find a solution, whatever may be the scenario, right? So there is always a lesson in the failure. So this is the third thing. So these three things, right? Like it's a very important life lesson as well. We can apply to our day-to-day life as well. Uh, I think. Yeah, any situation or any problem that you are come up or having or facing some challenges, I think these three lessons provides as some important guideline to cross those problems in a in a confidence manner. I hope this video provides you some insightful view on how to approach a problem, and how to apply the lessons from Apollo 13 mission. Thanks for watching this video. Please keep supporting us and subscribe to this channel. Hope we will meet with some more exciting content in the future. Bye.